It's so important, even in business and in relationships and all of those things.
99% of the time when we human beings say can't, it's a euphemism for won't. And what does won't mean? Won't means we really don't want to. We're not willing to make the sacrifice. It's not that important to us right now. I tell you, you do that enough, you tell yourself the truth about you enough, and all of a sudden you start falling in love with the real you.
In the book, you talk about the three points of philosophy that...
Oh, the 3 rules.
The 3 rules, yeah, that underpin this figure-outable mindset.
Yes.
What are those?
So rule number 1 is that all problems or dreams are figure-outable. Rule number 2, if a problem or a dream isn't figure-outable, it's a law of nature, right? So death, maybe taxes. Rule number 3, you may not care enough to solve a particular dream or reach a particular goal, and that's okay. Find something that you do care deeply about and go back to rule number 1. And what that does is it creates a container for us as human beings to be honest about what we care enough about to go figure it out. Because in my life, there hasn't been one thing yet that I have truly wanted to either understand, achieve, transform. Do you know what I mean? Have
100%.
Some different relationship with, that when it was true in my heart, that I haven't been able to figure it out. And if I don't want to figure something out, like I can get real with myself. Like I don't care enough about this to go figure it out right now.
That's super important.
Yes.
Point number 3. It's the one we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Because we'll all have goals in our life that we think are important. We think we want to do. I want to become a DJ. I want to start working out and get a 6-pack. I want to be an artist. They often don't happen. And we end up thinking that they haven't happened because we are an unmotivated person. So we say, we start beating ourselves up. I'm unmotivated. I'm a failure. I'll just keep trying at it. We very rarely pause and go, do I actually want it? And there's this weird thing that I noticed, which I won't name the person, but they know who they are because I know they're listening. There's this weird thing that I observed, which taught me a really important lesson. It's just sometimes like we want to want something. And the way that my manager's laughing now. The way that I describe that is like, we want to want something.
Yes.
We want to have the motivation to do the thing.
We want to want it.
Yeah, we want to want it.
We think we should want it.
Yeah, so we go around saying we want it. So like, I really want to go and lift weights. I might say, Stephen, I really want, I'm saying to the world, I really want to go and lift weights. But it's because I want to be the type of person that wants to be that wants that.
Yes.
So I go around saying it, but I don't actually want it. I just want to want it.
Yes. I had this same conversation with my best friend and we were laughing about this because I have put so much pressure on myself at so many different points of my career because I think I should want something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but for example, I think you'll appreciate this because I think you and I share a similar philosophy, perhaps about social media, for example. So I suck at social media, right? I'm never on it. I don't put any attention in it. I actually had a colleague of mine say to me like, Marie, you're so good at what you do. Like, why aren't your numbers bigger? And it was like one of these, like when someone makes a comment and you're like, oh, that kind of feels like a punch in the gut. And you're just like, I don't know. And anyone who knows me, my friends, and even my audience, they know I'm like very transparent. I'm like, I don't spend a lot of time on my phone. Like I'd prefer to write books. I create programs. Like there's other things. And then I just want to live my life. Like I feel like I'm like, if I was really committed to being a change maker, then I would be making videos. I was like, what the hell is that philosophy? Like I remember torturing myself. I should want to want that.
Exactly.
But the truth is I don't.
Exactly. And that's the hard part to admit.
Yes.
That's the really hard part to admit, that we just don't care enough. We just don't want it. It's someone else's.
It's someone else's. And I think that just having this conversation, because I would imagine there's folks listening to us right now that think that they should want to want something and they don't.
And then what happens? So, I failed to go to the gym to get that 6-pack that I tell myself I want, or I failed to start that business because I don't really want to, but I want to start it.
Yep.
And then I use excuses. And the number one excuse is I don't have the time. Because that's a cloaking of, as you said earlier, that's a cloaking of your true priorities.
Yep.
It's a way of saying, so it's not my fault. It's just a lack of time in the day. There's only 24 hours. But really, as you've said, it's actually how you use your time is one of the clearest demonstrations of your actual priorities.
Of your values.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. The way that I always like to keep myself honest about like what I want and to call myself out on my own excuses, this is the 2-word distinction that has helped me the most. Understanding the difference between can't versus won't. So anytime that I'm about to say, oh, I can't do that. I can't do this.
God.
I can't get up earlier to work out to get those 6 packs. I can't write my next book. I just don't have the time. For me, learning Italian. I can't learn Italian. I have so much on my plate right now with my business. So 99, not 100, 99% of the time when we human beings say can't, it's a euphemism for won't. And what does won't mean? Won't means we really don't want to. We're not willing to make the sacrifice. It's not that important to us right now. And so I always encourage myself and other people to play with this. Like anytime you're about to say the word can't, try on won't, or try on that's not a priority for me right now, and see how your body feels. Going back to this body truth, something in me goes, you know what? I actually don't want to learn Italian right now. You know why? Because in my free time, I'm watching The House of Dragons. You know what I mean? I'm watching this show or that show, or I'm hanging out with my friends, or I'm doing something else where I could be dedicating that to my Italian studies, but I'm not. You know why? Because that is not my priority right now. That is so much more honest, and it's so much more freeing. And then all of a sudden, I'm not a bad person. I'm not ambitious enough. I'm just me.
It's such a small, important change in like words and thinking. Just that swap from I can't do something, which says it's not possible.
Right.
Or I'm not in control, which is even the worst one. I can't, it's not possible, to I won't, which empowers you in such an important way. It says, actually, these are decisions that I'm making. I'm not the puppet, I'm the puppet master of my life.
That's right.
And I get to call the shots around here.
That's right. And it says, I think just like, that's not my priority right now. I choose not to. That's not my choice at this moment.
That's so much better.
You can try on any one of those, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like something in you, I think, feels the honesty. You feel the alignment. All of us, you feel more alive and you have more energy. And I'll tell you, you do that enough, you tell yourself the truth about you enough, and all of a sudden you start falling in love with the real you. Not the you that you think you're supposed to be to get everyone else to like you. Not the you that society has told you that you have to be, or all the people that you compare yourself to who are probably faking it anyway. But you fall in love with the real you, and that's, in my experience, where real happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment comes from.
The other part of that switching from I can't to I won't is in the external relationships we have with others. Because I made the mistake with my partner once upon a time of when she suggested something to me and I did not want to do it, I would say I can't. Right? What I'm doing is I'm absolutely lying to her because she wants to go and do this thing at this place, and I'd go, sorry, I can't, because I point at my schedule. I go, so I got, what I'm doing is I'm telling her I want to, so ask me again in the future because I'm interested. But I can't right now because of an external factor. So my girlfriend keeps asking me if I want to do this thing, and I'm continue to say I can't. And it's building a really inauthentic relationship. Well, and that's fundamentally built on a set of lies. There was a point, and I think it was because of one of my podcast guests, where I just tried being honest.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing I've ever done.
Yes.
And do you know what? She really appreciated it. Me going, do you know, I don't want to do that. It's so important. Even in business and in relationships and all of those things, someone being honest with you is very rare that it's so effective when they are. And people are smarter than we give them credit for. Yeah. So when you go around telling your friends or your loved ones, whatever, or your work colleagues that you can, they know.
Yes.
They know.